But when you're like, oh, God bless you, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pray for you, sister. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby if you're new here, and today I want to talk about how I deal with negative comments. So my YouTube channel is maybe about 4 months old, and like every other person who has used social media to one extent or the other, I have also received negative comments. So today I'm going to share the way I deal with negative comments, and I hope this is helpful to you, and you can sort of pick some tips here and there from what I say. So the thing about people talking about you is the fact that it will happen. If you're the best person on earth, people will talk about you. If you're the worst person on earth, people will talk about you. So expecting that people don't say anything negative about you just goes to show you do have some sort of entitlement issues. So if you're feeling entitled to the fact that everybody has to say something good about you, then I would advise you to sort of drop that. You need to expect that people will have differing opinions about you and how you live your life or what you do. So I think it's the first thing to note, and this is obviously something you have to work on yourself, is to expect that, you know what, people will talk about you. People that know you will talk about you. People that don't know you will talk about you. For example, I'm Christian, and even Jesus had a lot of people who spoke bad about him, who spoke nonsense about him. His apostles too had negative comments here and there. So just realize that you're human, and as long as you are breathing, people will have negative things to say about you. So once you have that knowledge out of the way, I think you'll be better positioned to deal with comments, negative or positive, when they arise. So when we're talking about comments generally, not just negative comments, you need to understand that there are positive comments and negative comments. And the difference really is that positive comments, they are polite, they are objective, they actually seek for your improvement, or maybe they are just adding to something you don't know. So it's very easy to sort of spot a positive or constructive comment. Negative comments, on the other hand, are totally unfounded. Sometimes they are very, very negative and abusive, and most times they even veer towards the personal, right? And sometimes it might come from people who have no clue about who you are. So those are negative comments. Once you've dissected the kind of comments and you know, oh, this is negative to its core, then that's where you can start to, decide what your approach to those comments will be. What I have noticed about life generally, when you have lived to a certain age and you've known and you've interacted with people from different walks of life, is that a lot of people, what they say and what they do is mostly a reflection of what's inside them. So when someone sits behind a computer and starts to type negative comments towards someone, for me, mostly it's painful being the recipient of that. But when you have that entitlement mentality out of the way, you can begin to understand that, this person must be going through something really difficult, right? Because that comment is coming from inside, right? So it's only going to come from within. So that person might be having a mental breakdown. That person might be dealing with issues, and the only response they have is to go online and spill their vitriolic comments or share their pain, because obviously, misery loves company. So a lot of people want to make every other person else miserable. So make sure you're not falling into that trap of someone else who's obviously dealing with some sort of unmentionable or undealable pain coming to spill negative comments. So when you realize that whatever comments these people are sitting down to write really is coming from a place within themselves, then I think the response really from you should be compassion and pity, right? Because this person has no way to deal with whatever they are going through but to come online and spill their negative comments. So as I mentioned, I got a negative comment within, I think, about 2 months when I started my channel, and this person came as though they knew me, they knew my full name, and they just spilled like negative things about me. What was my response to them? So as I mentioned, once you're rid of that entitlement mentality and expecting that the whole world would like you, then that's it. When you know that out of the 7 billion people in this world, like, a few 100 million, or maybe even 500 million, or maybe even 3.5 billion don't like you, then that's okay. You'll be sure to deal with the ones that don't like you properly. So when I got that comment, the first thing I did myself, honestly, was to remember my own values. Remember my values, remember my motivation. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I doing it to get the accolades of people, or what is it that drives me or pushes me? So once you know your value system and know your motivation, whatever people say, it would take a bulldozer to actually move you off that. So when I saw the negative comments, I stopped for a little bit and I thought, wow, interesting. Would I allow such negative comments really affect me, especially knowing that this person is speaking from a part of them that is obviously dark? So I read that and I chose to obviously not care. And that's what I think people should know. You have a choice to not care. It doesn't make you a psychopath or anything. You do have a choice to not care, and a choice to pick the things that affect you. You have to protect yourself, your mental health. You need to protect your dreams and the things you want to do. So there are 3 ways you could deal with negative comments on social media. The first one is reply, and reply with something positive. Now, I'm a little bit of a troublemaker, because you know how someone is really insulting you, really saying, oh, you're such a horrible person. But when you're like, oh, God bless you, you're like, oh, I'm going to pray for you, sister. God bless you. It just makes them more angry. And I think the Bible says it somewhere where, if you pray for people that hurt you or do something, it's like pouring burning coal on their head. See, because of that image it paints of burning coal, I would go and look for the nicest things to write. So reply. And obviously you should reply from a good place. But then even if you're replying something positive from a bad place, we're all human. And obviously we're fallible. So right, we're all human. So reply with something positive, because that your reply with something positive, for those people who are just being wicked online, it will hurt them more. So, and obviously that's not your business. That's their issue for them to deal with. The second way you could deal with negative comments is to ignore the comments. And that's fine as well, because that just signifies to the person that, sorry, your comments really, I don't have time or the energy to sit down and frame a reply, positive or negative. So you just tell them that, you know what though, you can keep on doing what you're doing and I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. So stay on your lane, writing negative stuff about people, but I'm going to stay on my lane, doing what I do, creating what I create, and that's that. And honestly, either option 1 or option 2 is fantastic. As I mentioned, I'm a bit of a troublemaker, but so you're gonna see me replying desperately, pouring burning coals on those people's heads. But yeah, and the third way to deal with a negative comment is to delete it. And this is fine too if you really have trouble seeing those comments and those comments are affecting you. Then please, honey, you have the power to delete the comments. But for me, I would advise against that, because those people that sat down there to write the comment, they would feel as though they have won, and honestly, they did not win, even if you delete the comment. So do what's best for you. You could reply with a positive comment, you could ignore them, and you could delete the comment. It's all in your court. But I would say don't let the fear of negative comments or what people say to rob you of doing the things you love, to rob you of living a life that is full and fulfilling for you, because those people would never cease. There will always be one person who has something bad to say about you. So don't worry, grab a cup of tea, enjoy yourself, and do what makes you happy, and let those people do what makes them more miserable. So thanks guys for watching again. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.